If I told you video games can help grow sports, you may be thinking, what the heck is this guy on? But it's actually true. Video games are the opposite of sports, so it is kind of an oxymoron. And when you think of video games, you usually think of this.
I can't believe it's all over. What do we do now? What do you mean? Now we can finally play the game.
However, video games can actually grow sports. This video is inspired by a guy named Hectic Hockey. He was explaining the downfall of NHL games, and that got me thinking of how that can actually impact the NHL. And it's a little bit bigger than you think, because having these games can really help you gain new fans. This actually comes from a bit of personal experience because I've never played ice hockey in my life, but I have definitely learned a lot about the game through playing the NHL series. When you gamify the sport, it actually inherently helps teach you the rules. I didn't know what the heck an offside was. I didn't know you couldn't hold the puck outside the trapezoid if you were a goalie, and just little things like that I picked up through playing the NHL games, which I would have never known unless I had watched the games themselves or played the game. On top of helping people who have never played the game learn the rules, it actually helps you gain knowledge with the players in the league. Playing HUT, you learn about all the different players in the game, what players may be good for your team, like fourth liners if you can't afford like these crazy 99 overall players or don't have the time to build them.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh shit! Oh, Taylor Hall too! Oh my god! Oh, and TJ Yoshi! That's not that good. Oh my god!
And when you're playing GM mode, you learn about the leagues as well and the prospects in the league for when you're drafting. And it's just a really good way to get in-depth knowledge on the league. Here's a really, really big one. So it actually helps grow the game internationally because over across the pond, you're going to have really big time constraints with the games, and the time zones are completely different, and you can actually just play the game and get more knowledge for the game just by playing it instead of having to stay up at crazy different times in the day to watch the games. And if you're like a teenager or something, which is the general target for those games, you're definitely not staying up those times because you probably got parents that are going to kill you. Been there, done that. Now let's take this scenario. All your friends are playing a sports game and you don't have this sports game because you don't really care for the sport, but you want to play video games with your friends and all they play is NHL. So you buy the NHL game and then you find it pretty fun because you're just playing around with players. You don't really know anything about the game, and then next thing you know, you really like the game and now you know everything about the game and the league. And this is the process that happens a lot. I've seen it in the NHL. I've seen it with people playing NBA 2K, FIFA, people who don't know anything about soccer, and then suddenly they know all the players and all the teams and they're watching soccer because now they're interested in the sport. I say that for NBA and FIFA because I'm Canadian. Everybody's basically a hockey fan already. When you're playing these games, you're meeting people who are generally interested in the sport, so you're going to be talking to people on the games about what's going on in the sport, which is encouraging conversation about the sport. Everything that comes from these video games is positive things from the sport. When EA decides to treat the NHL games like the forgotten child and just copy paste and just make them worse and add things that people never asked for, it's not going to help the sport. I know the NHL can't necessarily do too much about it because all they really have say in is the licensing. So the only solution I could really think of is the NHL pooling the licensing for EA, although what developer is really going to help them? There's actually lots of potential of growing the sport through the video game, and that is really important for the sport. And I think if they could make a better quality game, then more people would be interested at like a grassroots level, which would help grow the sport. And it also encourages real life participation as well. I forgot to mention that. And I just have this quote from Ivan Demidov that kind of supports everything that I just said here. I don't know if I can play the video or if it's just going to be text.
Today I met with Martin St. Louis. Yeah, and it's unbelievable. People like Martin St. Louis, like Vincent Lecavalier. You know, it's like I playing in NHL or 07 from these guys. You know.
Essentially, he's talking about playing as Martin St. Louis and Vincent Lecavalier. And where he's from, Russia, it supports the fact that he got knowledge of the players through the game as an international fan. Now, I'm sure he was a fan of hockey before. There could be many other kids just like Ivan Demidov that have learned about American players through, well, they're Canadian, but, you know, North American players through playing the video games. I personally switched PC gaming about like 5 years ago, so I haven't really played the NHL games recently. I would love to, but I can't justify spending a buttload of money on a PS5 just to play the NHL games. Hope you guys like my video. I try to make like sports marketing, business breakdown content. Yeah, like and subscribe if that interests you.